I'm Cindy Matalucci, and you're watching The Pulse. Thank you so much for tuning into our live show today. We're so excited. We have some amazing guests. I'm so happy to introduce you to my guest for today, Sherry Rubin, who is the director of Hope2gether Foundation. How are you?
Great. Thank you for having us.
So excited. Sandy Nolan, CFO of the organization. Thank you for being here. Tommy Sablon, I know you guys know little Tommy from KYXY producer 96.5. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. This is awesome.
We're so excited. We are going to be talking to you today about an event that we are hosting with the Hope2gether Foundation. It's going to be February 18th in Del Mar. So we're going to give you all the details about it and tell you how to get your tickets, which you need to get. But before, I wanted to talk to Sherry a little bit about her organization. So Sherry, talk to the viewers about Hope2gether and your story, because I know you're very passionate about what you do.
Yes, thanks, Cindy. The Hope2gether Foundation was founded because of a personal tragedy in our family. My son Aaron overdosed on prescription drugs in 2005. He was in a coma for almost a month, but then he came out of the coma. He survived, but not unscathed. He is a quadriplegic who cannot speak, but he understands everything, and he participates in our educational program and prevention programs that we do throughout San Diego County and across the United States when we get the opportunity to. Hope2gether was founded in 2010 formally, but we started educating San Diego County in 2008 when I realized that so many young adults were dying from prescription drugs, but nobody was talking about it.
It was kind of a secret.
It was sad because of the shame and stigma the disease of addiction has. And that is one of our goals, is to break that stigma and the shame associated with the disease of addiction. We don't feel that with any other disease that we have. And it shouldn't be that way for addiction. If we don't talk about these things, we can't make things better. We can't help our family, our loved ones, our communities, or our country who is suffering. It is a national epidemic. And so we started educating and advocating formally in 2008, and since then have provided over 350 presentations.
And Aaron goes with you.
And Aaron goes with me, yes. Aaron is the rock star, and
He's literally the rock star.
He
Chicks,
really is.
chicks flock to him.
Yeah.
With the bump.
Yeah,
the little-
yeah. Fist bump, yep. And
he'll always take a hug from the two
and
girls.
some things don't change no matter how long you're in a coma for a man. Still loves women, still loves to put his arm around him. But, and I met Tommy and Sandy through this journey. They each have their own personal stories about addiction and how it's affected them. I think we all do, if we're honest. We're all affected by prescription drugs or alcohol or heroin or other types of substances in our immediate families or someone we know. And so that's why it's really important to educate young adults, not only about abstaining from alcohol and drugs and prescription drugs, but also to educate them to maybe be the next generation that doesn't so quickly take a pill for this, take a pill for that,
A quick
and to really invest in their health and to understand that they have other options, and it's prescription drugs aren't necessarily what we need to reach for every single time we have something that's ailing us, whether that be pain or any other things. So we have partnered with many people, hence our name, Hope2gether. We can't solve this individually. Law enforcement can't arrest their way out of it. I can't change the world by myself.
But you are.
She's trying.
But, you know, with dedicated people like Tommy and Sandy and so many others, Team Hope members, people that support our foundation in the community, and other families, we're doing our best to educate families and young adults, also on safe storage and safe disposal as well, because prescription drugs are necessary. They're not going anywhere anytime soon, and we will have them in our home. And as a responsible consumer, we need to have safe storage practices and safe disposal practices. So just like toxic chemicals we have in our house that, hopefully they're a lot less than we used to have, but they're still in our home. So we still have to be responsible. We still have to lock them up. We have to put them away so that they cannot harm uneducated or our young adults or our animals or pets. It's just really about consumer education and health.
Well, and we have some stats. This is very interesting. We're going to localize it too in a second. But according to the CDC, the United States is in the midst of an opioid overdose epidemic. Opioids, including prescription opioids and heroin, killed more than 33,000 people in 2015, more than any year on record. Nearly half of all opioid overdose deaths involve prescription opioid. Overdose deaths involving prescription opioids have quadrupled since 1999. We don't know 2016. I don't think we have all those numbers yet.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know anyone that hasn't been affected by this. I know I've lost 2 people last year with heroin. So I really think it's important to get out there. I know you're gonna, Tommy, you have a story.
Yeah, that's how I got into this. I grew up in the 70s. I'm the youngest of 5, and both my brothers are much older than me. But as I was a kid, I saw them get addicted to heroin. That's how I was when I was a kid. My brothers were heroin addicts. They were heroin junkies. So as I got older, I was the good guy because I was doing coke and crystal and stuff. And I'm not ashamed to say that because I don't today. And in 2010, I was at my friend Karen's house in El Cajon, and I listened to a sheriff talk about the prescription drugs in our schools and how heroin is back. And that blew me away because at that moment in 2010, I thought drugs in school were marijuana and coke, crystal, and drinking. I did not know about OxyContin. I did not know that heroin was back in every single school, I have to say in San Diego, and how it grew East Coast to West Coast. And so when I found that out, I went to KUSI and I said, hey, there's something going on in our San Diego schools. We need to tell your viewers about it. Let's do a special. And they said, well, we don't want to do it, you do it. And so they allowed me to produce a television special on KUSI, Oxy, What Your Kids Aren't Telling You. And that's how I met Sherry. And Sherry led the charge with a lot of other mothers here in San Diego and a lot of other experts on that topic. And I'm just blown away that heroin is back. Every year, that was 2010. We're still talking about it in 2017 the same way.
Yeah.
And
It's getting worse.
Yeah, it all started in 2000. It all started, Sherry would know when, but it started in a little town in West Virginia. In West Virginia, oxycodone pills were flooded into this small town, and then it spread.
By a pain clinic.
Yeah, and it spread, and heroin is back, and and that's why I get to know people like Sandy, and because so many families are struggling, and we do need to get the word out. And Hope2gether Foundation, and all these organizations, we need to tell people that, hey, that medicine cabinet when your husband had that back surgery, that OxyContin, you need to get rid of it because little Joey is going to take it and get addicted.
Your medicine cabinet is not for medicine anymore. It's for your toothbrush. It's really irresponsible to have any medication, over the counter or otherwise, accessible to anyone and everyone in your home. Your cleaning lady, your plumber,
Your kids' friends, anybody.
Yes.
Yeah, and so you really have to have a safe, secure area in your home to store them, as well as if you have an open house and people are coming through your home and looking, they'll use the bathroom. And even if the prescription drugs in your medicine cabinet are not their drug of choice, they will take them and divert them and sell them on the street for what they need and what they want. So it's really, really helpful for even families that don't, or individuals, couples that don't have children in their home. They think, oh, we don't have to worry because we don't have kids in our home. Well, you do have plumbers, and you do have other people that come into your home for work, and you need to be responsible.
Here's what I've learned from Sherry. You know, when I was growing up in Chula Vista in the 70s and 80s, you can pinpoint people that look like me. We were the people getting high. Now,
You can't.
now
Could
it's
be
everywhere. Honestly, the drug addict today looks like you.
And me.
Yeah.
But I mean,
us,
it's
our
the
age,
cheerleader. It's the cheerleader.
It's the athlete. It's
the athlete that just got the
academic.
scholarship to Harvard to be
Yeah.
the starting quarterback. Those are the new faces of the drug addict, and they don't even know what hit them because they think that drugs are just the marijuana, the pot that your friend's doing. They don't have any clue that the drug now is that prescription drug that you see on television being advertised.
Yep.
So we're getting the kids are getting all faked out.
Well, and I think it's also, I mean, I have a lot of female entrepreneur friends, and we get together and we have networking groups, and nobody can sleep. It's like they, you know, everybody's like, I've got so much to do. So then people are like, well, what are you
The big
taking to
one.
sleep? And I feel like that's when it's like starting too. That's this other thing that's generating. It's like, I've got to be awake, I've got to have all these hours in the day, I've
That's
got to be on my game.
A whole nother channel of it. But, you know, Sherry and I are constantly being up against parents who are going, oh, but my kid he's so dedicated to his sport, he's super into health, he's a weightlifter, he's whatever. Trust me, we've seen every kind of kid get addicted and even die.
And I want to say this. I know we talk a lot about Sherry and her heart and how she is changing the world. Sherry Rubin and Erin is changing the world.
She's
but
amazing.
She has a strong support team like Sandy. Now
Exactly.
Sandy has a story as well, and I don't know if she wants to say it, but she probably won't. But I know she's probably going to cry right now. But she's here because she's all heart, and she lost her boy, her son, and that's why she supports Sherry, and that's why she wants to look in that camera and say, hey, there's something going on. Wake up.
We just all want you to deal with reality. It's
And
unfortunately we were
it
so
is.
unaware. You know, when we were hit with our kids with their addictions,
there was no one talking about prescription drugs.
and people still aren't really talking about
and
it.
There's a little bit more awareness now, but we still find when we speak with parents that that even though we're giving them information and sharing things that are necessary for them to know as a parent, parents think that addiction is about them.
Yeah.
They think it's about where they live. They think it's about what school they went to, how much money they make, and it's not.
And what they've done. You know, I felt like because we didn't, you know, I never did
Exactly.
drugs. How could my
Yourself.
kids ever be a drug addict?
Yeah. Right, and the same
And
thing.
we were both stay-at-home
exactly.
moms too.
And we
we
were
were there.
involved
we
in our
were
kids'
so
life.
there.
But I want
And-
to say this about that. If you have a kid getting stoned, doing bongs and stuff, and maybe snorting a line right there, that's anywhere. That person can quit that. I believe they
No, it's
can
true.
they can say, okay, I'm going to quit this. But it's a different animal,
With
opiate.
opioids,
An
yes.
opiate
Yeah.
is a different animal.
The addiction
Heroin,
is-
Oxycontin, all that, any opiate, is a different monster. Then all that person, that child that you raised that was loving and caring is still loving and caring, but they're ripping off pharmacies. They're going out at night and stealing cars to get that money, and that's
And
what's
every
happening.
time they get high, they're telling themselves they're not going to do it again. And they can't help. They can't stop themselves.
Opioids are so powerful.
It changes your brain.
It changes your brain chemistry so quickly. And let's just take Erin for an example. And there's hundreds of thousands of Erins. And when we go out and we speak, Tommy, Sandy, myself, Erin, and as some of our people on our speaker bureaus, we aren't speaking just for ourselves. We're speaking for all of these families. The opioid addiction is so powerful. Take my son Aaron. He tried 7 times. Detox, rehab, inpatient, outpatient.
My son 4 times.
4
yeah.
times.
Mm-hmm.
But when he finally came to us and said, no, this is just not working, I need to go to residential rehab. He wanted so much to be better. And he was there for 7 months. But they treated it, and the protocol at treatment was like cocaine or alcohol, those types of illicit drugs. the science wasn't there. They didn't understand it. Treatment and science hadn't merged for the opiate addiction.
Even with the science, though, your odds are very low of overcoming a heroin addiction.
And it's just a matter of time when your husband or wife all of a sudden is 40 years old, 50 years old, and having a back surgery.
Yeah.
They're most likely they're going to be prescribed OxyContin. And it's not if they will be addicted, it's when
It's
they will
when.
be addicted, because after a month or two of being prescribed OxyContin, you're going to get addicted, and it's not your fault. And that person that just got addicted, all of a sudden can't afford OxyContin. So that 40-year-old, 50-year-old person who has a great job, attorneys, they're going down the street buying $20 heroin bags because it's the same thing.
They lose their families, they lose themselves. Painkillers take away your pain, but they also take away you, your life, your family, your job, everything you've worked for your entire life. But that's why we're here. And this is what we do. And we are a grassroots foundation, all volunteer, no one gets paid. We rely on the generosity of donations and honorariums from schools and private businesses and events. I mean, this is only our third event in 8 years.
And it's amazing how it's changed, because we have with the generosity of
Yes.
our local businesses has been incredible this
Yes.
year. So much easier than it was in the previous
Yes.
years. They know Sherry, and so she's got a little bit of a
wanna
following.
get
because
involved.
They want to
But
get involved.
Is there any way you can have cupcakes? Wait, there are
yeah.
There's cupcakes right there.
Well, let's talk about the event.
And
because I
wine.
love- this
We
is
wanna
kind of
talk about
coming
that.
full circle for us, because Sherry and Tommy and I met at one of the first events that you did a few years back.
Yes.
And so I love that we're involved again in this. But let's talk about the event itself. It's going to be fabulous. It's February 18th. It's from, I think, 6 to 9:30 at the Del Mar Powerhouse. So let's talk about it. What do we have going on at this fabulous event?
Oh, well, first of all, we want to thank our wonderful sponsors. I want to say a big-hearted and much gratitude to iClear Electric, and who is our main sponsor. We are so appreciative. Then we have Game Day Sports, and we are so thankful, and they have really participated in every event that we've had, so they continue to support our event and our foundation, and also the original Pancake
I
House
love
of
the original Pancake House.
Yes,
Yeah.
of Poway and Temecula. They have been our supporters from the get-go, and just wonderful people. And without their financial contribution, we could not have this event. We also do have some other private sponsors that have donated, and an anonymous sponsor. So those people.
We essentially are spending almost nothing on the fundraiser itself. Everything's been donated. We've got maybe 10 restaurants that have donated food. We have our wine donated. Our beer's been donated by Pizza Port.
You guys have some great food sponsors on the border: Pacific Coast Grill, Belly Up, Nothing
Yeah.
But Cakes. We actually have some cakes here too that look
Yeah.
amazing. So, and then there's going to be entertainment too,
Yes,
right?
we're going to have a quartet, a wind and string quartet, which will be very nice and lovely.
Not only is it a quartet, they're just 4 dudes.
Oh, cool. It's 4 dudes.
Okay.
And then we also will have adult entertainment with magic.
Adult entertainment.
Yeah, well, magic for
Not like
adults.
that.
Magic
See,
for
you need to
adults.
come on the 18th. It's going to be very entertaining.
Magic for Adults by magician Michael Smith, a member of the Magic Castle Performers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he'll.
The big one is our silent auction, though. It
Yes.
is by far the best silent auction that I've ever been to, for sure.
Well,
we have amazing
some items on display
Yes.
for you today, but obviously not even half of what they
Not-
have. It's fabulous.
not
But
even.
we've got some jewelry on display today. I know Brett Boone, former MLB player, he could not be here today. Author, some of his stuff is going to be there as well.
Yes, and our wine sponsor is BK Wine Cellars in Escondido. They will be there, and they just won an award for this baby, the Cabernet Franc,
Ooh, I love
the
it.
San Francisco Chronicle competition. So they won a gold medal for this, and so we're very thankful to them for being our wine sponsor. And we'll also have a basket of their wine on the silent auction. And
we had Southwest Airlines donate 8 one-way tickets,
Oh
passes
my
anywhere in the
gosh.
United States. So even if it's like a last-minute thing, that could be worth a lot.
And Del Mar Racetrack, 4 clubhouse season
Right.
passes for both racing sessions, which is like $2,100 value. So you guys always have great auction items.
Absolutely.
So you guys have to be there. So tell everybody, how do they find out how to get involved with the organization, number one, because you can always use help.
Too bad you don't have a website.
I know,
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
You know what? I think I should have a website. I think it will be Hope2gether.org.
I think that sounds
How do you spell it? Because it
Yeah,
isn't just.
it's important.
How do you spell it?
Hope2gether.org.
With a 2, not T-O.
And we actually will have the link up right now, too, with the website so that you guys
Yeah.
can take a look at it.
So this is just our cute little bag that all of our guests that attend,
No higher. No higher.
all of our guests that attend will get this cute little reusable
I love that.
bag, and it will be filled with goodies. CVS Health, CVS Pharmacy, CVS Health Corporation will be donating to us a bunch of travel size items
Oh, that's
that will be in the
great.
bag, discount coupons to a lot of businesses in San Diego County, and some other special things that will be a surprise will be in the bag. So that's
And this bag can
exciting.
save you money because every time you go to a grocery store, you
Yeah.
can save 10
10
cents.
cents.
So if you go
Yes.
to a grocery store a million times,
Yep.
this
Yeah.
can save you millions of dollars.
Right,
I know, it's true.
right.
Yeah.
So
I have to remember to put the
there you
bags in
go.
my car. So
Yeah.
now you've got one. So, and I think we have about 70 tickets, but we max out, right?
We have 32 tickets left.
Okay.
Yeah, we're
So
close.
32 tickets left, February 18th. You guys can go to the website. We'll have a link to the show and to where they can buy the tickets.
Yes.
But you guys come out, make a difference. We're all going to be there in supporting this. I think what you're doing is amazing. I have so much respect for
Oh,
you, and
thank you,
you're
Cindy.
really making a difference.
We really appreciate you being involved and having us here.
We're here for support as well. If there's people that are struggling, we're here for information as well because
Yeah.
we've lived it.
Yes,
As a resource for
yes,
people.
Absolutely.
we do, and
We're happy to do that.
And both Sandy and I know Tommy and myself, I get at least probably 6 calls a month looking for referral. I had probably 5 last week. It was a bad week.
Bad week.
Wow.
It was a bad week. But we're here to help navigate people through this, because when you have someone that's struggling with the disease of addiction, it is overwhelming.
And you don't know who to trust
And you-
because there's a lot of money in it too. People are going to tell you whatever you want to hear
And
just
you
to
guys
get your
have been
money.
through it, so they can really
Yeah.
contact
And we
you
know
and trust
we
you.
know who you can trust as far as
Sherry.
that goes.
You can trust Sherry
Go to
and Sandy.
Sherry. Go to Sherry.
And Tommy, before we go, I want to know: are you going to be mayor of Chula Vista? Word on the street.
I don't know. I don't know. That's a dream of mine.
Give it up.
No, I grew up in Chula Vista. I grew up in Chula Vista, and all this stuff and the way, the things that I do has made me think about
Involved in city and
going
community affairs.
down. I still have a house in Chula Vista, the house we grew up in. So maybe I'll move down there and then run for mayor.
I love that. Well, keep
No.
us posted. You heard it here first on the
No.
phone. But everybody, check out www.hope2gether, and that's hope with a 2, gether.org for information on tickets. And please join us February 18th. And thank you guys so much for
There's
coming
going to be
in.
adult entertainment.
It's going to be fun, and it's going to be for a good cause. So come out.
See you there.
Thank you guys so much. Good to see you guys. I hope you have a great Friday. We'll see you next time.
Great weekend.
Bye.